This is the new and improved role models, health, fitness, and finance and mindset presentation. I made the last one. It was very condensed though, so this makes it a little bit more digestible. Health and fitness gurus: Andrew Huberman, biohacking. I'm not gonna go. This is gonna be a short one. I'm not gonna go through everything again. This will be a quick reference. Andrew Huberman, biohacking, daily routine, scientist from or neuroscientist from Stanford. Hopefully, I didn't get his title wrong, neuroscientist, but fantastic dude. Fraser Wilson and Chris Heria. I can't say his last name. Um, Fraser Wilson for abs. Chris Heria for, oh, there we go, for calisthenics. Uh, Daddy Noel and Nick Bear. Daddy Noel does a whole bunch of cooking stuff. So you want some recipes there, or just very simple lifting advice. Fantastic, and a little bit father figure too, because like I said in the last one, he didn't really have one. So I think he picks up the pace a lot with that. Kind of brings you and slows you down a little bit in the fast world. Nick Bear, if you want to be just an absolute animal, that's your guy. Hybrid athlete. Alex Hormozy, obviously he's huge in business and in fitness. He's just jacked. I don't know. Follow his initial booking routine is uh, pretty damn extreme. So do that with caution. But I like that fella. He also does some funny cooking stuff. And talking about cooking stuff, smoking and grilling with me, AB, is fantastic for if you want to treat yourself with like some actual uh, good meals rather than just the chicken and rice, especially if you're eating Alex Hormozy's initial diet, um, or if you're trying to get a date night. They have some good recipes. I don't think I would classify it as nutritious though, because it is like soul food. Specialized training methods. Um, this is a breakdown of each one of the guys. Basically, what I just said. But in the initial one, I didn't talk about Mr. Mays here. Was talking all about kettlebells, how to use it, functional training, tendons, strengthening, basically everything. Kettlebells are really good if you want to be a badass and not just look cool lifting heavy weight. Financial wisdom. Everybody knows Dave Ramsey. Follow his baby steps, and like mathematically, you cannot not retire a millionaire. Um, then we'll go down to the bottom right. Actually, Robert Kiyosaki. Everybody knows Rich Dad Poor Dad as well. Big thing I took away was valuing time over money. Now we'll go to top right. That's kind of a mixture of two of them. He's closer to Dave Ramsey because he's very frugal. Only debt he really uses, to my knowledge, is for real estate and uh, credit cards. But he's really smart in real estate through his experience initially being a realtor, but his everyday credit card usage. Mark Cuban also says, like, and Alex Hormozy and Dave Ramsey, if you're focusing on the 1 or 2% you get from a credit card, you're focusing on the wrong thing. I agree, but I basically buy the same things all the time, which are very minimal. And, in my lifetime, I've probably gotten $1,000 back. Well, then you can go in the weeds about, you don't get the neurological pain point you do when you pay in cash versus using plastic. But I don't know. To each their own, and if you're strict with it, I think credit cards can be fine. Then Alex Hormozy, always talk about him. He's got 2 books right now: $100 million offers, $100 million leads. Not in that order. Yeah, not in that order. Those are swapped around. Then he's gonna have $100 million sales. That one hasn't came out yet, but I can't wait to read it. Obviously business, great story, and also, if I'm not mistaken, when on Dave Ramsey's show says all cash deals that he's done. Talked to Graham Stephan. Has a ton of money in cash, which Graham Stephan questions. But Alex Hormozy is absolutely rich. So, you know, doesn't make sense to throw it in the stock market if he's going to invest it later. But also, Alex Hormozy, just like Dave Ramsey's, been bankrupt a couple times. I don't know if Kiyosaki has, but ExxonMobil's been bankrupt a couple times, so he probably wants a little bit of security. And I'm not uh, against having no debt and having a bunch of stockpile and cash. I'd rather have that than the opposite. But I'm just this random guy making YouTube videos, so who knows? Business strategy and entrepreneurship strategy. Pedro David, really good book. Your Next 5 Moves teaches you chess-like thinking in business. It's got more political, basically making Fox News too. Leave your political stuff aside. Pedro David is awesome. Started out with valuetainment, or he still has valuetainment, but that was all towards business, entrepreneurship, largest entrepreneurship not platform, but basically person on YouTube. At least in my opinion, he says in his videos too, and I believe him. But very smart. He interviews a lot of people. I always thought it was really interesting when he interviewed the mafia guys too. One part of me is because I like the mafia story, but you do learn a lot of stuff from them. All right, we're at 5% here. Don't worry, we're crushing it. Okay, I actually didn't know that guy. Oh, maybe his name was Steven, but I didn't really know his name. I just know Diary of CEO. Interviews a bunch of top business leaders and everybody. It's kind of like the UK Joe Rogan. Fantastic dude, gets a huge perspective, has a whole bunch of good questions. And Frugal Foundation, if you want to learn how to live cheap, Gabe built, I didn't do a deep dive into him, but Dave Ramsey will tell you to live cheap. This dude will tell you how to do it. Like everything to a T. Mindset, David Goggins. Obviously an absolute animal. He's got those 2 books. These are audio books that I can listen to as well. I was listening to the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Oh, it gets kind of long, but these ones you can't stop reading and you can't turn it off. You listen to the audio book. So uh, I'm a big fan of David Goggins. I don't know who's not. If you aren't, I feel bad for you because he's a great motivator. Jordan Peterson, clinical psychologist. He's from Canada, famous for several different reasons. I've listened to thousands of hours from him as well, mostly on that life is suffering and that you should make a constant journey towards the highest goal achievable. One that also doesn't need to be achievable, which is kind of where the $100 million, make and give away perpetuity fund idea came from. That and Benjamin Franklin, obviously, but really good. And also, if you want to go into more religious stuff, specifically Christian, he humanizes stuff. So it's not like going to a super strict church where you don't know what's going on. If you don't know the Bible verses or if you don't know the stories, that's okay because he breaks everything down. Just like motivation, life suffering, he articulates everything, which is what his style of writing is. He basically helps lay out all the possible thoughts and then narrows it down. It's like archetypal, or obviously I'm not very good at it, but he's extremely articulate. And if you like English stuff, listen to him because I don't know, he's just super good with words in my opinion. Chris Williamson, I said this before, but kind of like a more masculine fella of the Diary of a CEO. Don't want to make that a dig on the Diary of a CEO or CEO. I think he's fantastic too, but Chris Williamson, he goes more into like psychology, philosophy, and performance, in my opinion. Kind of one of the bros. And speaking of one of the bros, Joe Rogan, who is in everything interesting, in my opinion. Comedy's a huge part. I mean, there's Neil deGrasse Tyson on where you talk about the universe. Oh man, I'm gonna forget his name right now. Terrence Lauren, dude from Hustle and Flow and Four Brothers. Having him on, going completely different with theory stuff. That's a really interesting podcast. He did 2 of them. One with another really smart guy. I'm forgetting his name right now. But those guys, hunting, diet guys, everybody. I think he's got over 2,000 podcasts by now. A lot of them with Joey Diaz are just absolute gold. There are other comedians. It's super funny. So, Joe Rogan, didn't say much about. Obviously, big fan of that fella as well. Productivity powerhouses. What a title. First guy went to like medical school, learned a whole bunch of these productivity hacks, and then I think he didn't. I think it might have been a little pressure to go into the doctor field, and then he started making YouTube videos on or selling courses actually. I think to help people study in the health field, and now he does this stuff full time. So very interesting. But we want to learn productivity or how to use electronics. Now, that's your main guy, Jeff Sue. I watched his video. I thought that was most helpful with MacBook. I think MacBook was the only one I watched from him, but it was so good. That's all you need. Same thing with this Miles fella. Only watched one video on how to do iPhone stuff. He showed me how to do the shortcuts, and then I kind of just ran from it from there. But only video I watched from him. But that's the only one. Or maybe not everything else. I don't know his other stuff, but only one you need for an iPhone. Raisu, talked to him, gave him a lot of props last time. Got to give him a lot of props this time too, because that's the bones of the Little Black Notebook. Not coming up with the videos and the ideas and stuff, but actually structuring and organizing the thoughts and things I've done so I can look back at it later. That was the guy who I watched, and then shortly after that made the Little Black Notebook. So Raisu, if you ever see this, thank you very much. Not a comedy. I went into a little bit longer, just like the other ones in the original one. But these are the big names you need to know. Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock. I didn't listen to him as much, but Dave Chappelle's the GOAT. So is Joey Diaz. Two different types of comedy. So if you listen to Joey Diaz, you better strap in and go to church the next day, or listen to his What's Happening in the Church podcast. Very funny, lovey fellow, insanely good memory. Bill Burr, more like current events sort of deal. Comedy, he's also extremely funny. Just like, everybody here is. These are all the top dogs. Shane Gillis, One for the Boys, Big Ralphie, Bernie Mac. These two actually have TV shows. Bernie Mac, that's, probably a little bit before everybody's time, including myself. Just slightly out of reach, 2000s, baby. And then Shane Gillis, he's got tires. Looks really funny. I've seen shorts. I don't have TV or any subscriptions, so I haven't watched any of that. Eddie Griffin, again before my time, but another funny fella. And yeah, I have a whole breakdown that's more in depth. Well, not more in depth. It has more names on it, but it's shorter. So if you want a quick reference, watch the first video on it. Otherwise, if you just want the big dogs, they're all here. So if you're gonna stick with any of them, I think these ones are the best ones. But thank you. Have a good night. Bye bye. Whoops.